Have you ever noticed this? Sometimes you buy a bunch of bananas that looks beautiful and perfectly yellow. You place it on the kitchen counter. And yet after just 1 or 2 days, the peel starts to darken, brown spots appear. And the bananas soften so quickly that you don't even have time to eat them. Many people think the reason is that bananas are simply hard to store. But in reality, in many cases, bananas ripen too fast because of how they are placed and how they are stored. Hello everyone, I'm Mary. Today, I want to share with you some very simple ways to store bananas. And more importantly, when bananas should be washed, when they don't need to be. And why bananas should not be placed near certain other fruits. You don't need to do everything. Just choose the method that fits your household best. When I first bring bananas home, I usually don't place them on the kitchen counter right away. I take a few minutes at the beginning to wash the bananas, because this small step helps them last much longer. First, I prepare a bowl of clean water, add a little salt, and stir well. I gently place the bunch of bananas into the water and wash each banana slowly, without scrubbing hard. At this stage, the goal is simply to remove dust and residue on the peel from transportation. I always pay a bit more attention to the stem, because this is where bananas usually start to ripen the fastest. Which beautiful country are you watching this video from? Please leave a comment and let me know. So I usually let the stems soak in the salt water for about 1 to 2 minutes, then lift the bananas out and let them drain. After the first wash, I change to fresh water. This time, I add 1 tablespoon of baking soda to the bowl and gently stir until it dissolves. Baking soda makes me feel more at ease when I want to store bananas for a longer time. I place the bananas back into the water and gently roll each banana so the water touches the peel evenly. I don't soak them for long, about 3 to 4 minutes is enough. During this time, I still pay close attention to the stem, because this is always the most important part. After washing, I take the bananas out and dry them very thoroughly. I use a clean cloth or paper towels to gently wipe the entire peel, especially the stem, making sure there is no moisture left behind. This drying step is very important, because if the bananas remain damp, they will ripen faster and spoil more easily. In fact, if you observe closely, the stem is exactly where bananas begin to ripen first. Once the stem ripens, the ripening process spreads very quickly to the whole banana, and then to the other bananas in the bunch. First, I take a close look at the stem. If I see any part that looks slightly dark or no longer fresh, I use a clean knife to gently trim that part off. There's no need to cut too much, just enough to make the stem look dry and neat. Next, I take plastic wrap. I tightly wrap the banana stem, pressing it firmly to limit air exposure. Usually, I wrap it around 2 times, so the stem is completely covered. Wrapping the stem this way helps slow down ripening, and also reduces how quickly the banana peel turns dark when left out. After wrapping the stem, you simply place the bananas in a cool, well-ventilated area, away from direct sunlight. And remember not to place bananas next to other fruits, such as apples, pears, or mangoes, because these fruits will make bananas ripen faster. With just this small step, you'll notice that bananas last longer, stay firm for longer, and taste better day by day. After sharing with you the full washing method to keep bananas for a longer time, I want to clearly explain one very important point. Bananas do not always need to be washed after you bring them home. In reality, in many situations, you can completely skip washing bananas. And this is still reasonable, still safe, and still helps slow down the ripening process. For example, let's look at this situation. When the bananas you buy look fairly clean, the peel is dry, not muddy or dirty, and you are sure that the bananas will be eaten within the next few days, then washing the bananas is not really necessary. In these cases, the most important thing is not washing, but the banana stem. You only need to make sure the bananas are dry. If your hand feels that the banana peel is slightly damp, just gently wipe it dry with a paper towel. After that, take a piece of plastic wrap and tightly wrap the banana stem. Wrap it firmly to limit air exposure to the stem. The stem is exactly where bananas begin to ripen first. When this part is wrapped, the ripening process slows down, and the banana peel is less likely to darken. This method is very simple, does not take much time, does not require washing or soaking, yet it still helps bananas stay fresh longer and prevents them from ripening too quickly. There is one situation that many people often encounter. Within the same bunch of bananas, some bananas are already beautifully ripe and yellow, while others are still slightly green and not yet at their best to eat. If you keep the whole bunch together, the riper bananas will cause the greener ones to ripen much faster. As a result, in just a few days, the entire bunch ripens at the same time, becomes soft, develops dark spots easily, and is very difficult to control. In this case, separating each banana is a very smart and effective solution. You only need to use a clean knife and cut each banana away from the bunch. Remember to cut a little higher above the stem, so you do not bruise the flesh. Once separated, each banana will ripen at its own pace. The bananas that ripen earlier will no longer affect the ones that ripen later. At this point, you can choose to wash the bananas or not, both are fine. If you wash them, remember to dry them very thoroughly, especially the stem. After that, tightly wrap the stem of each banana with plastic wrap. Just doing this alone will help the bananas ripen more slowly and last longer. Don't you find this method simple and logical? It also makes it easier for you to take bananas to eat, and helps prevent bananas from ripening all at once, ripening too fast, and being wasted. Now, let's talk about a situation that many households often face. The bananas are already ripe and yellow, fragrant, and at their most delicious stage. But you haven't had time to finish eating them all. If you continue to leave the bananas on the kitchen counter, they will keep ripening very quickly. And after a short time, they become soft, develop darkened skins, and become overripe. At this point, the refrigerator becomes a very reasonable option. But it's important to understand the right timing. The most important thing to remember is this: bananas should only be placed in the refrigerator once they are ripe. Green bananas or bananas that are not fully ripe should not be put in the refrigerator when the bananas are already beautifully ripe and yellow. You do not need to wash them before placing them in the refrigerator. You only need to make sure the bananas are dry, with no water remaining on the peel. If you want to be a little more careful, you can lightly wrap the banana stems with plastic wrap. This step is not required, but it helps slow down the ripening process a little more. After that, place the bananas in the refrigerator. It's best to store them in the crisper drawer, or in a corner where they are not exposed to strong direct cold air. When bananas are stored in the refrigerator, you will notice that the banana peels gradually darken, possibly turning dark brown, or even nearly black. This is completely normal, and does not mean that the bananas have gone bad. The most important part is the inside of the banana. In most cases, the flesh remains soft, sweet, and still perfectly good to eat. If you want to enjoy bananas at their most pleasant quality, keeping them in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 days is ideal. If you are storing bananas in the refrigerator only to use them for smoothies or baking, you can keep them a bit longer, as long as the bananas do not develop a strange smell. or release abnormal liquid. If you try applying one of the methods shared today, please leave a comment and let Mary Home know which method works best for your household. And do you have any other ways to keep bananas fresh longer? Please leave a comment so we can learn from each other. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you find this content helpful, please like and share it with someone who buys bananas every week. And don't forget to subscribe to the Mary Home channel, so we can continue sharing more simple kitchen tips together every day. Goodbye, and see you again in the next videos.